Hello and welcome to another Sprues and Brews unboxing video. Today we are looking at the Warhammer Age of Sigmar Soulbound starter set. Super excited to see this. Soulbound, if you don't know, is the Warhammer Age of Sigmar role-playing game from Cubicle 7. Came out last year and I know a lot of people have been really excited for the starter set to come out. And this essentially is a way of kind of learning the rules with a pre-made adventure, some pre-made character sheets to take you through an adventure and learn the ropes of how to play the game, which is really cool. We did a previous video on the Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay starter set, and again that was really cool, really awesome adventure, and yeah, really great way of learning to play the game. So super excited to crack this one open and have a look at what we get inside. Massive thanks to Cubicle 7 who sent this over to us a little bit early for us to have a review of this as well. So yeah, let's crack this open and see what we get in the box. So first of all, it's worth noting that the inside cover of the box has got some stats. Basically you can use it as a Games Master screen, which is really cool. So slip it inside the box itself and you've got a little dice tray and GM screen. So yeah, no space wasted on this, which is really cool. Obviously I think you can buy a separate kind of Games Master screen for this with a lot more information, but certainly for playing through these introductory missions and learning the rules, that's really cool to see in there. As we go in, first of all we see some really nice dice. We pop these open, we've got, I believe, the symbol for Akshi on the 6. So yeah, that is really cool. Nice red dice, and you get 8 of these in the set. Again, enough to get you started. It uses D6s, so you don't need any D20s or D10s or anything in this one, so you can play it with normal dice. Straight into the top of the box though, we get a nice little fold out telling us all about Age of Sigmar and the Mortal Realms, which is really cool. Goes through all the content, so we get the Faltering Light adventure to learn how to play the game. Brightspear City Guide in there, which we'll have a look in a bit as well. Character sheets, some dice, tokens and reference sheets and maps. And then we get a nice bit of information about Warhammer Age of Sigmar Soulbound, what the Age of Sigmar is, who are the Soulbound, what you need to play, what the GM does, what you need to get started. And then we get a nice little page there just telling us about the various mortal realms and all the information. So a nice little primer if you're maybe not, into Age of Sigmar and don't have that prior knowledge. On the back as well we kind of get the party sheet with all their goals and the Doom and Soulfire count as well. And again, they've got tokens in here, so you can just pop tokens on the relevant section to record all those. So that's really cool. We also get 5 character sheets. Now we've seen these in Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay starter set, and they've done a similar thing here with the Soulbound starter box. And again, essentially you get a really nice kind of gatefold character sheet with all the information about your character, all their stats and stuff, pre-filled in. So basically the party playing this just needs to pick which of the 5 characters they want to play as, which is really cool. You kind of get all their goals and connections and secrets. So we've got the Stormcast here, which is cool. On the back of the sheet as well, you get some nice artwork of the character too. So yeah, really cool those. This is one of the parts that I really liked in the Age of Sigmar, the Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay box. So really happy they've replicated that here. So we have got the Caradron Overlord. Really cool. They look really cool. I like them. And again, some nice artwork of them there, firing their Caradron weapons. We get an Idenith Deepkin character. So she may not be the strongest in combat, but she's your wizard, essentially, for want of a better word. And again, all their details on there. What I quite like is that you've got, obviously, these to kind of frame your character and how you play them. And I imagine most people, when they start kind of progressing from this into full games of Soulbound, they'll be making their own characters. But the pre-made characters in this box gives you an idea of, what you're looking for, what you're doing, understanding all the stats and a bit of an introduction into the game. So yeah, I think this is the ideal way to get into it with these pre-made sheets. Again, we've got the Kurnoth Hunter. He looks pretty cool. Really nice. Although we've got a nice range of characters in this box as well. representing various factions of the Mortal Realms. Really cool artwork on that as well. And then finally we have the War Priest of Sigmar. Again, nice character sheet there with all his stats and abilities and gear and everything. Some details of the character on the front, and again some really nice artwork. And I imagine some people go to town and get some characters painted up to represent them in the game. It's got to be done. It's got to be done, hasn't it? So yeah, really like that. Really cool feature of these boxes, and yeah, really enjoy that. Cubicle 7 have brought that back for this one. Next up in the box, we get the first book, and this is Faltering Light. Let me just pop this out. So Faltering Light is the essentially the intro adventure. So this basically teaches you the rules. You go through an adventure, learn how to play the game as you're going, and yeah, really good thing. So obviously there'll be spoilers in here. I don't want to go too much into the storyline. Have a quick flick through this just to kind of point out how it works. Obviously, if you're a player, you probably don't want to read this. Just leave that to your dungeon master to look after that side of things, because you know it'll spoil the adventure for you. You don't want that. And yeah, basically the book will take you through how to play the game. It'll give all the information you need to know. Even if you're a brand new Games Master that's never done it before, the book is really clear, spelling everything out, explaining all the bits. I'd argue that this is the best entry point rather than the main rulebook, because it does take you through those steps as you get to them in the adventure. So really nice to see that. Again, as we go through, we get a box out with the various kind of rules references and explaining how they work, such as in this case the difficulty number is something that's quite different to a lot of RPGs. Essentially you've got a target number and then a number of dice that need to hit that target to make up your difficulty of any tests in Soulbound. And yeah, it explains how to do that, and really great, the story will kind of call out to do that test and give the associated rules with it as well. So over the course of the adventure, you learn the rules. So again, we're not going to go too much into this side, just because I don't want to spoil the story for anyone who wants to play it. But it's really nice artwork throughout, as we've seen in the other Cubicle 7 books they've put out. And again, nice little boxed out sections explaining each rule and happening as it happens. So yeah, really good to see that. Makes it accessible for people new to the game. And you know, even old school players of role-playing games, Soulbound does work a little bit different than, you know, established games such as Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay or Dungeons and Dragons or anything like that. So it's nice to have all the rules in here to kind of learn as you play. And then the very back we've got all the profiles for various encounters, NPCs, monsters that you might face during the adventure. And then on the back we've got a nice little summary sheet with weapon and armour traits, conditions and environmental traits. So really everything you need to learn to play the game in here, which is really cool. But that isn't everything we've got in the box. Let's crack on and see what else we got in here. So next we've got a sheet of tokens. They're used to represent your metal, Soulbound and Doom trackers. And again, dead simple. You can pop them on the kind of party sheet that we showed you earlier. And again, these will have use in kind of your normal games of Soulbound once you've progressed from this starter box. So yeah, that's really cool. We've also got the Brightspear City Guide. So if we pop this out, this is essentially a supplement book within this box. So yeah, basically covering the city of Brightspear that you encounter in the adventure in the box. But again, this is something you'll be able to use in your other games of Soulbound. On the back, we've got a nice map of the city, referencing all the various districts and points of interest within. And as we go in, it's pretty much a full source book on the city itself, detailing everything you might possibly want to it. So we've got a guide to Brightspear, talking about its history, you know, where it is, what it does, the various factions within. And this is really nice. I hope that we see kind of more. I think we mentioned back in our Soulbound review that we did last year, I'd love to see more realm specific kind of supplement books, because the real focus of Soulbound has been actually the realm of fire. So it'd be cool to see kind of more of these various places kind of explored and fleshed out. As a bit of a Age of Sigmar nerd, I really like that. Yeah, we get kind of a nice shop area with the various things that you can buy, the costs of them, how available they are. Later on, I think we also get even down to stuff that you can buy in the tavern, which is really fun. And yeah, so much brand new info on here. I'm really impressed with how Cubicle 7 have been able to kind of flesh out I suppose the mortal side of the mortal realms, if that makes sense. The kind of normal living, the normal towns, exploring what it's like to live in the mortal realms, which is really cool. Yeah, here we go. Here's the bar menu. So if you want to know what drinks they drink within Age of Sigmar, there you go. So that's really fun. And again, we go through the various tiers of the city, all the various points of interest. So lots of stuff here for adding to your existing adventure, fleshing out maybe stuff that's in the purchasable supplements they can go, or even making your own homebrew adventure within the city of Brightspear itself. So yeah, really nice supplement book, and considering this is included within the starter box as well, I mean, I'd probably have picked this up if it was a separate hardback book anyway. So the fact that it's in the starter box is a great thing in my opinion. But yeah, loads and loads of information in here. It's really cool. There's a few sections as well where it calls out to, you know, if you completed the Faltering Light mission, you get access to various areas within the city as well. So yeah, this should be, hopefully, in your campaigns, a nice point that you can return to a familiar town. So yeah, we also get some threats as well. So we can use these as ideas for adventures, adventure hooks, various happenings that you can then spin out into either a little side session or an adventure in their own right. Just point out that in the Games Master Screen pack you get another supplement which details more adventure ideas. So yeah, and it goes through basically these adventures, some ideas of how to run them, the various creatures and foes that you might encounter in them. Yeah, really nice, really nice. And again, with this and then the core book, if you've got that as well, you can really start to kind of craft your own adventure. Obviously we know there's, I believe it's up for pre-order now, a series of 6 linked adventures that Cubicle 7 have got up. I think it comes out Q3 in physical, and I think the PDF version's available now. But, you know, if you want to craft your own, all the details on here. So yeah, really nice. And yeah, that is part of the box. That's not everything we get in there though. So going back here, we have got a map of the Great Parch. So this is the realm of fire. Obviously the realm where the Soulbound kind of storyline takes place. And on the reverse of it, we've got another copy of the city map as well. So you've got one that you can use as a handout to give to your players and they can reference. I mentioned in some of my other videos that we've done that I really like physical props in role-playing games. So yeah, I'm a sucker for maps and handouts and stuff like that, which is really cool. So yeah, really glad to see these. I believe you can buy a map of the Great Parch from Cubicle 7 as well. Yeah, that's really fun. We also get in the box a reference sheet for spells. So rather than having to, you know, flick through a book to find those spells and what they do, they are on a separate card here. Obviously these are just the ones that are in this starter set. The spells in the main rulebook are going to be separate to this as well, but again, for learning how to play the game, it tells you how to cast spells, what all effects do, how to kind of parse the details on the spells themselves. So yeah, really good little reference sheet there for the caster in your party. You also get a rules reference sheet breaking down how to do tests, how Metal, Soulfire and Doom works, and yeah, again, nice little reference sheet you can throw in the middle of the table and everyone can then use that to refer to in order to learn how to play the game. And then finally, we have a combat reference sheet explaining how combat works and everything around that. So again, really cool. So very much a starter box, as it says on the cover. This is to get you to learn how to play the game and kind of introduce you to the system. And then in the very bottom of the box, we also get another map of the Great Parch. Again, if we pop that in there, you've got a nice little dice tray and a Games Master screen to hide your rolls as well. Again, it's no waste of space, making use of that, which is really cool. So as you can see, the box is absolutely chock full of goodies, and yeah, if you're interested in learning how to play Soulbound, you've got a group that can play through it, or if you're just interested in Age of Sigmar and you want some more kind of supplemental knowledge about you know, the various cities and normal life within the Mortal Realms, I would say this is absolutely worth picking up. I mean, even just for the Brightspear City Guide, I'd have picked this up anyway, but it's so cool. You get all the dice in there, all the tokens, all the character sheets. It really is an ideal kind of route into learning how to play the game. Obviously, you don't get everything that's in the full rulebook, so if you do want to kind of progress to running your own adventures, you are going to need that Soulbound core book. However, if you want to kind of test the waters and see if this is something that you and your group would like, this is an ideal thing to pick up. You know, it is all self-contained. You've got all the pre-made character sheets. So, I mean, creating characters in Soulbound isn't too difficult, but it takes that step for you and creates them ready to give you the chance to learn how they work and how to play them. And from that point of view, definitely recommend this for any RPG fans that have been maybe interested in exploring the world of Age of Sigmar Soulbound. So yeah, accompanying this video, I've got a full write-up on the website, spruesandbrews.com, going into the details of what we get within the Brightspear City Guide, a look over the Faltering Light campaign and a bit of a review of that, of how it is to learn the game through that. And then hopefully in the coming weeks, hopefully when lockdown kind of things ease a little bit, we'll be looking to play some games. We might even do a remote streamed game of Soulbound to show you what the start set's like and the adventure within. But yeah, thought I'd just share that quick look at Soulbound with you. Again, massive thanks to Cubicle 7 for sending this out a little bit early for us to have a look at. If you are interested in role-playing games, we've got a few other videos up on the channel at the moment. We recently reviewed Death on the Reich, the latest Warhammer Fantasy roleplay book. That's really cool as well, so make sure to check that out. But yeah, until next time, we'll see you real soon.